every horror fan has a game that they love the most. And I know for most of you, that game is Silent Hill. Yes, Silent Hill is an amazing horror game, psychological horror game. I even rank it above Resident Evil, even though it's going to make some people very angry at me. But Silent Hill was not the first horror game I played. Resident Evil 2 was actually the first horror game I played on the Nintendo 64 port of Resident Evil 2. And then I played the original Silent Hill, the first one on PlayStation, shortly after Resident Evil 2. So, and then from there, I fell in love with Silent Hill just because it was new. Like, it was something that I didn't really experience. It was more like psychological, demonic in a way. So, like, I like horror games like that. I like the demons. I like the spooky stuff like that. Zombies are scary and all that stuff, but Silent Hill will always be close to me. So today we're going to rank all the Silent Hill games with our nifty little ranking system here. And we're going to look through them, and I'm going to anger some Silent Hill fans big time because, I follow all the subreddits and groups on Silent Hill, and there's always arguments, especially between two games, and we're about to get to them, on which one's better. And we're just going to go through all these games and rank them. There are some in here I haven't played, but we'll skip them if I haven't played them, just to make it fair. And then you guys tell me in the comments below what your favorite Silent Hill game is, or tell me your top three in order. Because I already know what your top three are, but tell me in order what your top three is. All right, but anyway, let's get this started. So we'll go down the list, and we'll start with Silent Hill, the original. And in fact, there's two here. I'm assuming this is like another version of it, but so Silent Hill, we'll do the original. This is like the first one I played on PlayStation. It was actually a PlayStation Portable, so I got it later in life. I think I honestly got a PlayStation Portable after my Nintendo 64. But so the original Silent Hill always holds like a close place in my heart. It was actually the second horror game I ever played in my entire life, and I'm not gonna lie, it was just like, honestly, like life-changing. I'd never played a game like that. I went from like Mario and Zelda, Mario Kart, GoldenEye, and then I jumped into that, and I was like, I didn't even know what the game was about, honestly. I knew it was a horror game, but I was not expecting that type of horror game. So Silent Hill will always hold a special place in my heart. I'm not going to give it S rank, and I know people might get mad at that. I'm going to give it an A rank. Okay, so Silent Hill, yes, it's what started it all, but there are other ones that are better, and we're going to get to them. But it's a solid A. Silent Hill, the original Silent Hill, like, there's nostalgia to it. It's, it was just, it scared me. It scared me as a kid, and I thought it was extremely fun. I thought the story was very good, and I thought the idea was amazing. The fog, the effects, the radio, all that stuff was amazing. So I don't know what this is right here. In the comments, you can tell me. I'm not quite sure. Does it tell you when you click it? No, it doesn't. So this is like the same Silent Hill, and it shows like Harry, and I'm assuming that's Sybil in there with him, but I'm assuming this is like maybe a Japanese version of Silent Hill. I don't know why that's on there, but we're going to skip it. Silent Hill 2. Okay, so Silent Hill 2 I played on PlayStation 2, and that was probably what Silent Hill did to me as a kid. Silent Hill 2 did to me as like, when I was in high school. I thought it was incredible. The story was incredible. It was eerie. The graphics were much better. The characters were great. It just, everything was there, and it fit perfectly, and the story was amazing. And for that, I'm going to have to give Silent Hill 2 an S rank. Hands down. And all Silent Hill fans will probably be wondering, like, oh, what's next? It's something else going to get S rank. But Silent Hill 2, hands down, easily gets an S rank from me. And I think this is where the biggest argument that you hear Silent Hill fans talk about is Silent Hill 2 versus Silent Hill 3. Which one's better? And I think it's because people, I'm not gonna lie, they really simp on Heather a lot, and they think like, oh, Heather's so awesome. So I feel like Heather's the most cosplayed Silent Hill character in the entire world, and I understand why. She's a great character and all, but like, it's either Pyramid Head or Heather from Silent Hill 3. That's all I see on cosplay most of the time, and then occasionally you'll see other Silent Hill characters, but it's always Pyramid Head and Heather. So now going on to the next one, Silent Hill 3. So again, I played this also on PlayStation 2. I enjoyed it. I thought it was amazing. Again, another great sequel. It was lacking some things though. I feel like I would like to have been more in Silent Hill, because the game is technically called Silent Hill, and I know people are going to bash on me and all this stuff like, oh, blah 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 blah. But most of the game, or at least a good portion of the game, takes place outside of Silent Hill, and I don't know, I don't want to spoil it for people, but portion of the game does take place outside of Silent Hill, and you don't really get the just like walking through the empty streets of Silent Hill. There's blood on the ground. There's like monsters and the radio and like the abandoned stores, the abandoned cars. It's just like you don't get a lot of that with Silent Hill 3. And I hope I'm not spoiling it, but that was my biggest gripe with that game, was like, why did they make that the decision? Why? And I understand, like, you have to play the story to understand a little better, but it's just they took it away from Silent Hill. And to me, honestly, I'm gonna have to give it a. This is a tough one because I do like other things, aspects about it and stuff, but I'll give it an A rank. I know. So we've got the top 3 down, the big ones. Okay, we've got Silent Hill 2, and Silent Hill 3. These are hands down probably, if you were to ask any Silent Hill fan, their top 3. They may say Silent Hill 4, but these are the top 3 that you can't beat them. Those are definitely the best ones, and these are the ones that fans, Silent Hill 2 and 3 especially, are the ones fans argue about all the time. Trust me, I'm in a bunch of groups and Silent Hill subreddits and stuff like that. It's a huge argument, and potato, tomato, tomato. So that's where I rank that. I'll give it an A. So next up we have The Room. Again, very unique idea, very interesting story, but again, we're not really in Silent Hill anymore. In fact, most of the game, it's a genius idea, and I understand they're trying to break the mold, but like, the game is called Silent Hill. It's kind of misleading in that aspect. It's called Silent Hill, and to me, Silent Hill 2 set the gold standard. It set the standard for what a Silent Hill game should be like, and then everything else just seemed like they were trying. I'm not discrediting anyone, but it was just not there. And there's ghosts in the game. There's a bunch of like other odd things about the game. Still a very scary game, still a very fun game. But for that, I couldn't vibe with it, and people are gonna hate me for this because it's weird. They're segregated into groups. There's like, no one's like, everyone loves the OG Silent Hill, but there's like Silent Hill 2 fans, Silent Hill 3 fans, and then there's like a few Silent Hill 4 fans. So I'm gonna put Silent Hill 4: The Room on a B tier. So that might disappoint some people, but this is me. I've been a Silent Hill fan since 1998. I'm old. Yeah, I know. But I just, I'd have to put Silent Hill 4: The Room B easily. Next. Anyway, the arcade. Okay, so if you haven't had a chance, there is a Silent Hill arcade game. I'm not going to lie, it's really fun. Yes, you have to pay to play and all that stuff, and it's kind of rigged to where you need to pay more money in order to play. but I had a chance to play it at an arcade, and I've got to say it was a lot better than I thought it would be. I really thought it was going to be like a really bad knockoff, but honestly, it was pretty good, you know? And I'm going to have to give that also a B. So the Silent Hill Arcade is exactly what it is. It's a shooter, you know, with the like little light gun and stuff. And it's got Pyramid Head in it. It's got a bunch of your favorite Silent Hill monsters in it. There is really no story. It's kind of like a basic generic story, but you know, if you're looking for like an arcade shooter that's like who would I love arcade shooters already. Who would want a Silent Hill themed one? That's awesome. You know, I've played the Halo arcade shooter. I've played like the Jurassic World one or whatever, and the Silent Hill one, like that was like when I found that, I can't remember where I was when I saw that. I was I think I was like in Austin or something like that, and I saw it there, and I was like, they have a Silent Hill arcade shooter? That's awesome, and got to play it. But yeah, I give it a B. It's fun, you know. Yeah, it shoots up quarters, but you know, if it's probably the only time you're ever going to get to play Silent Hill in arcade shooter format, so we'll give it a B tier. Origins. Okay, so Origins, it's good. I like it. It's, you know, this is probably after 4 is when I believe it's because correct me if I'm wrong, other studios started taking over the Silent Hill franchise. Like Konami started like giving development to other studios. This is when it started going downhill. No pun intended. Silent Hill started going downhill. So Origins was, I believe it was originally on the PSP, and then I think they released it to the PS2 or I don't know, PlayStation Store. Again, I would say it's better than the other things we're going to look at here, but it's definitely going to fit on a C. I'm going to give that a C because I can't rank Silent Hill Origins with Silent Hill 4. Silent Hill 4 is a much superior game, you know? Honestly, Origins should probably be down a D, but out of the other ones, I probably would give Origins a C, you know? So let's keep going down this list. Silent Hill Orphan, never played it. Silent Hill Mobile 2, I did have a chance to play that. Okay, so this is like a generic click game. I don't know what the games were called back then, but like, you know, where you click on things and you pick up items, and it's really just like pre-rendered stuff. So, I mean, this was like on old mobile phones back in the day. And if you were a Silent Hill fan, it was a quick, easy fix. But other than that, it literally is just like kind of like a click and play narrative story game that's like there's no combat involved or anything. It's more just like picking up things, finding clues. So I'm gonna give it a D, just because, you know, like games have changed a lot. And when I bought it, because I believe I bought it, I don't know how much I paid for it for my mobile phone way back in the day, but it honestly, it was good enough, but it's very short, and it's like, you know, mobile games back then aren't what they used to be now. They were honestly just ways for people to make an easy $6 or how much ever they charge for that game, $5. But yeah, I'd give that a D ranking. Orphan, I have no idea what that is. If you know what that is, please put me in the comments, or I guess I could look it up. I mean, I've never played it, so I'm not going to rank it, so we're not going to look it up. Homecoming. Again, another highly debated like Silent Hill game. I'm not gonna lie, I actually kind of enjoyed it. I was expecting it to be very bad, and they changed the combat system. It's actually similar to what the Silent Hill remake is going to be. It's kind of like an over-the-shoulder combat system, and it's like different, you know. They updated it. They made it more modern. The story is not too bad, actually. It's the twist at the end is kind of dumb, you know, like when you find out like why he's in Silent Hill or whatever. But I would say overall, it you know, they threw Pyramid Head in it for like no reason. He's just randomly in there a couple times. But I would say it's a solid game, you know. I think it's a solid game. This is going to anger some people, but overall, I enjoyed it. I left it feeling satisfied. Like I thought it was like decent, you know. So we're gonna do. You're gonna hate me for this. I'm gonna give it a B. That's a B game. You can hate me right now. Go ahead, hate me. Do it. And write in the comments. Tell me how dumb I am, and then we'll talk about it more. Okay, Shattered Memories, pretty much a remake of Silent Hill 1, but like an odd like first person style. Graphics, I don't know. I think this was originally released on the GameCube, I believe, or no, sorry, the Wii. Sorry, Wii. We would like to play. And then they ported it to the PlayStation 2. So this was actually not bad. It's basically what they did with the Twin Snakes. They kind of just updated it, and it sticks close to the original game. It's definitely a little different, you know, like with all the I don't know, like the snow falling and stuff like that. Like it's I don't know. They definitely wanted to revamp it to make it like a different game, but I would call this like a reimagining of Silent Hill 1. So this is actually not a bad game either. I would put that on B. So again, if you disagree, please feel free to comment below. Downpour. Okay. So Downpour feels like a sequel to Homecoming. Like not story-wise, but like similar gameplay, similar combat system and all that stuff. So to me, Downpour it just wasn't as good as Homecoming, you know? Good game, not bad, kind of like repetitive, and I don't know how to describe it. You know, the story's weak. The story is the weakest part of Downpour. A very bad story. You know, similar combat system to Homecoming. Maybe it's definitely changed, and man, that's tough. I'm gonna put Downpour on a C because it's like I don't know. I can't describe it. If you play Downpour, you might understand. You know, you might be a huge fan of Downpour. Hate me right now, but I'm gonna have to give that a C. It's a C ranking for sure. Book of Memories. You're gonna hate me. I've never played Book of Memories. Yes, I've never played Book of Memories. So we're gonna skip that. Please comment below what Book of Memories would be on here. And top comment, we'll just go with that. PT. Probably the most heartbreaking Silent Hill game or demo to be released. It was technically a game, I believe. So PT, if you don't know, I mean, most of you, unless you're not a Silent Hill fan, PT was kind of a demo for Kojima's upcoming Silent Hill titled Silent Hills that he was working on. Unfortunately, if you didn't know, Kojima and Konami kind of had a falling out, and he left Konami and he ended up making his own studio. So Silent Hills never came to light, and we even got a trailer for it, and it looked amazing. Norman Reedus was in it. Everyone was excited for it, and then we got this amazing demo, which is super scary, very like creepy, like basically Kojima was coming in all these games right here, besides maybe that one. He was just kind of saying like, hey, we're gonna redo this, and we're gonna make it like creepy again. And it was creepy. PT was amazing. It was very creepy. A jump scares, like everything that you want in like a Silent Hill game. Honestly, I would even say like the jump scares in it was a little more scarier than these over here. Like there's some like the PT kind of reminds me of like modern indie horror games. It's just like really good, really frightening, very good graphics. Unfortunately, it never came to light, but I'm going to rank that an S because it kind of just, you know, makes me believe that one day maybe Kojima will come back and be like, hey, let's finish Silent Hills. And that we know that's not going to happen, but we're getting a remake or reboot of Silent Hill 2, so actually it would be a remake. But yeah, PT is definitely S tier. If you haven't played it, I don't think it's available on the PlayStation Store anymore. I think they took it down, but there's ways to find it online if you're really good at doing stuff like that. Okay, so this next one. So some of you may have not played this, but this was like a weird mobile decision making Silent Hill game called Ascension. I Okay, so I think Konami's trying to like reignite the Silent Hill franchise, and if this is their way of doing that, it's not a very good way of doing that. Odd everything, story, monster design, all that stuff. So monster design's not bad, but it's just overall like what what is this? You know, it's like I don't know. I mean, I think it's free though. Is it free? I can't remember if it was free or not when I played it. Or did I pay money for this? Anyway, that's gonna go D. So yeah, and then finally, short message. This is one that tears people too. I remember when this came out and the demo came out and people played it and we all played it. Man, like Silent Hill fans are brutal. There's a lot of like arguing. I don't know if you guys follow Silent Hill stuff, but like when James first came out in the Silent Hill 2 remake, like everyone was just criticizing the way he looked. Like he didn't look like James at all, which I agreed. He didn't look like James at all. Now they have Angela. She like looks fat or something, and I'm like, Angela, she doesn't like. There's one shot of her where she looks sort of like not even fat, just her face looks weird, and everyone's like, oh, she's fat now, you know. And when this game came out, the short message, like everyone was criticizing it as well, and it was like, you know, like okay, so it like I don't even know what the short message was. I don't even know what the like. I'm assuming it's a demo to the future of Silent Hill, which is Silent Hill F, which is the next Silent Hill game in the franchise. That's not a remake. I'm assuming this is like kind of like a small, similar to PT, like a small demo or small free game to kind of guide people into the direction that Silent Hill is going, which is very interesting. It is. It's a lot of flowers, a lot of teenage drama. Mental health is addressed as well. Um, I love the idea. The idea is not bad. The character, you know, and the characters in the game, the way they talk to each other, it honestly it feels like a 30-something-year-old writing dialogue for a high schooler. That's what it is. I don't know who. I'm assuming this was developed by the new like they. I think they're bringing up the Silent Hill Team Silent again or something, but it sounded like it was like a 30-something, late 30s guy like trying to write dialogue for a teenager. Like it's really bad, you know. Like I don't want to spoil anything, but it's very bad dialogue, very bad like thing. The only positives to it is scary. The monster is very cool. The design of the monster, I thought she was, or yeah, I guess as a woman, was very cool. And other than that, like everything else was just kind of like mid, you know, like you know, I don't know. It didn't leave you with anything, and they're going in a new direction, so that might be why. You know, it's not your typical Silent Hill game, and I think they're trying to like rebrand, which I think is foolish. I think they should stick to Silent Hill and make games about Silent Hill. You know, and I mean, you know, it's just overall, again, it was like a polarizing game. People either hated it or they loved it. And I feel like the majority hated it. I didn't hate it. I can't say hate. Hate's a very strong word. My parents taught me that. But I would definitely call it a mid game for sure. So we're going to put it, not mid. This is mid. We're going to put it below mid. We're going to do C. So you can see here, like, what my rankings for the Silent Hill games are, tier rankings. So S, definitely Silent Hill 2. PT, S, easily. Just, and I'm a Kojima fan. I'm a Metal Gear Solid fan as well, so that might be some bias there. The original Silent Hill is easily an A tier. It probably should have been S, but, you know, man, Silent Hill 2 just was better. And that's the one I'm kind of gauging all of these off of. Silent Hill 2 and it's just probably one of the greatest horror games ever made. Like if you can ask somebody, like what's the best horror game, like top 5 horror games, Silent Hill 2 would probably be in there. And Silent Hill 3 is A, Silent Hill 4 B, Arcade is B, Homecoming is B, which might be a shock for some of you. Shattered Memories is also B. Origins is a C. Downpour is definitely a C. Short Message, unfortunately, is a C. You know, maybe I should give it a B. Should I be nice? You know, it's just, maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm like an old Silent Hill fan, and it's like I'm just too in love with the like Silent Hill 2 and the original Silent Hills that like I look at Short Message and I'm like, look, I get it. They're trying to go in another direction, but this ain't it. This ain't it. You know, it's not. Silent Hill Mobile's a D, just because it's a mobile game. You know, it's like an old. I think these were like on the old mobile phones, like the ones with the keyboard on them that you flipped up. What were those called? Those sliding phones that like has like a keyboard on it. And then Ascension D for dog turd. I'm not even afraid to say Ascension sucks. It sucks. It's terrible. Team Silent, if you can hear this, it was awful. Don't do that again. Honestly, Ascension frightens me because I feel like with the new Silent Hill 2 movie coming out, I'm scared to watch it now. I'm going to watch it. I'm going to watch it, but I'm scared too. So these are definitely my games. So just leave me a comment below, guys, what you think about this. Tell me what your S tier Silent Hill game is. You know, or tell me your top 3 Silent Hill games. Could be anything, you know. And if you haven't played a lot of these, I highly recommend you play them. You know, there's a lot of young Silent Hill fans out there that are just discovering the games. I feel bad for you guys because you're probably gonna have to play the what's it called? Not Shattered Memories. What's the one where they re-released it that everyone hates? They changed the voices. I can't think off the top of my head, but that's the only way you're going to be able to play the original Silent Hill 2 unless you have like an emulator or something. But overall, guys, like this is it. This is my ranking. If you disagree, please tell me below. And then comment below your top 3 Silent Hill games. And then also comment the top 3 worst Silent Hill games. Because I want to know your worst ones that you've played. You know, I kind of already know the top 3. It's going to be 1, 2, 3, or 4. Possibly, you know, PT or I mean PT's like a demo. But yeah, comment below, guys. And thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe. If you enjoyed this video, please like it. Leave me a comment if you enjoyed this video. I feel I'm going to be doing more ranking videos like this, just kind of break the mold of playing video games and stuff. As you know, I'm a huge horror fan and I love horror gaming. And yeah, we'll go from there. But thank you guys. Have a good night and take care. I'll see you next time.